What's going on, guys? Saiyan Motion here, back with another what if on the channel. And in this video, I'm starting a new what if. What if Cabba was in Universe 7? Another name for this what if could be if he was in Universe 7 instead of Universe 6, or was born in Universe 7, which is all true. Before we begin, let's try to get a like goal of 15 likes so I know you guys have enough interest in this series, so I know to put more parts into it. But for now, let's get right into it. The first thing we have to actually discuss is Cabba's power level. We know from seeing the Tournament of Destroyers that a base Cabba training under a normal Saiyan, or himself actually, with no God Ki, was equal to base Vegeta. Mind you, this base Vegeta was after 3 years of training in the Time Chamber with Goku and a lot of training with Whis, and he also had God Ki. So the point is, Universe 6 Saiyans are strong as hell. There's no way putting Cabba into this what if with his normal power would work. He would just be another Broly, maybe even worse. And since this video was inspired by Manga Adventures, who created what if Caulifla was in Universe 7 instead of 6, I'm going to take his scaling of 20,000 in power level for the Saiyan. I don't want to say he's part of the royal family, but he is born from a family in the elites, and is just a little stronger than Vegeta. But he's not enough to be sent away. So he is born around the same time as Vegeta, and is just above him in terms of power level, like I mentioned. They both might actually get along. And I can see this totally happening. Vegeta might see Cabba as Tarble, but he would get a little mad every time Cabba beat him in a fight. I'm not going to say Cabba is part of Vegeta's squad, or Vegeta actually being part of Cabba's squad, which would make a lot more sense. But he is the leader of another squad, more elite than Vegeta's. Now, this squad is going to include 2 Saiyans, and just to fill those spots in, I'm just going to say they're 2 people from Bardock's crew. So, this is the elite squad that Cabba has. Unfortunately, or actually fortunately from them, they're far away on a mission, far away from Planet Vegeta. And fortunately for them, their scouters are broken in the fight. And Frieza doesn't really care. For a few stranded Saiyans, he'll kill them if they get in his way. So, Frieza continues on and destroys Planet Vegeta. Now, eventually, news does get to Cabba and the other 2, and Cabba is sad at first, knowing this was Frieza's doing. But he just hopes there's others alive. On his travels, which he kind of has to do, he comes along many planets. For now, let's say no planets owned by Frieza. Cabba ditches his destructive ways. He never enjoyed killing in the first place and only did it for Frieza. Well, look where that got him. But he does come along and notice a planet one day. Yardrat. Cabba and his squad land on Yardrat, and just like they did with Vegeta, the Yardrats surround them. First, Cabba thinks they're about to attack, and he shouts, "We come in peace." Paibara then steps forward, looking at Cabba, saying, "Good. We don't want any harm to be done to us or you." Paibara quickly reads Cabba's mind, realizing what he's gone through. He first tells his fellow Yardratians to show these 3 the best accommodations, and they do so. But afterwards, Paibara approaches Cabba, or Cabba would actually approach Paibara, and he would ask, "What's going on? What's this planet?" and everything. Paibara would inform him that he was right about Planet Vegeta. It was no meteor that destroyed it, but Frieza instead. Cabba's power spikes at having found out what he thought was true. Paibara then says, "I will train you. I can't offer you physical training, but spiritual." Cabba perks up, but questions, "How will that get me any stronger?" With Paibara responding, "In time, you will see." Cabba does not decline this offer since it's training anyways, and they have nowhere else to be. The next day, the 3 get to training, and under Paibara, of course. So, they do training much like how Vegeta did. I didn't say Goku because Vegeta's training was recent and uncovered a lot of things we didn't know about Yardrat. The 3 Saiyans start with spirit control and learn a lot because, like I mentioned, they have nowhere else to be. Cabba is the main focus, so let's focus on him for a quick minute. Let's set these other 2 Saiyans aside. And for the record, they are going to be Borgos and Sagash. I'm pretty sure that's what their names are. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But for Cabba, the other 2 Saiyans might be important later, but for now, like I mentioned, let's just focus on Cabba. Paibara notices that Cabba has massive potential, and he trains him very well, focusing on him more than the others. Cabba would go on to get a whole lot stronger, and like we saw with Vegeta, he would get unexpectedly immensely stronger without knowing what has happened to him, because of all the spirit training. He was offered a lot more training with a lot more techniques. He would learn a few more, including healing, which he thought was good, because of the Zenkais, alongside just a good ability to have if they get ever hurt. if they ever get hurt. But he would also learn instant transmission because who doesn't want to know teleportation? But one day on a daily routine thing, a ship crash lands on Yarjet, and Cabba is able to decrease the damage because he catches it midair. But once he sees the pod, he thinks it's bad news. He gets ready to fire, but seeing someone inside, a man, oh, he's not part of the Ginyu Force. Cabba stands down asking who he is, but the man passes out. He later wakes up in Yardratian clothes in a Yardratian hospital. He wakes up greeted by Paibara and Cabba. Paibara didn't read his mind, wanting to know what happened to him from the man. He explains, "My name is Son Goku. I'm a Saiyan." Cabba is shocked to hear that another Saiyan is alive. He has so many questions. Where are you from? Who are you? Who's your father? Are there any other survivors? Goku answers one by one. First, there are Saiyans alive, more of them actually, Vegeta and his son. Cabba gets even more excited. Vegeta's still alive? Goku explains how he crash landed on Earth, and he explains his story. He then gets to the part about Namek and how he faced Frieza. Cabba once again says, "What happened with him? Did you kill him?" Goku explains, saying yes. It was the hardest fight he's ever fought, but he had transformed into Super Saiyan and defeated him before the planet blew. Cabba is happy to hear Frieza's reign of terror is over, but is more shocked to hear the legend of the Super Saiyan is real, and he is talking to him. Goku rests for a while, but eventually comes up with Cabba to train under Paibara. Paibara and Cabba would be able to teach Goku quicker because Cabba is a student of his, and I feel like he would be able to teach Goku a bit too. He would be able to learn instant transmission much faster and would have more time to learn another technique. Since healing would be too obvious and Cabba already has it, let's say he goes for Force Spirit Fission. This is going to be a big help in the future, but Goku doesn't know that yet. Eventually, the year ends. Goku alongside Cabba would also leave. The two other Saiyans have built a new life here on Yardra, and although they respect Cabba's decision to leave, they don't want to. Cabba is okay with this and says his goodbyes. The two soon leave, and after leaving, they sense two power levels. Goku says they're familiar, or at least one of them is. No way. Frieza! Yes, that's right. Frieza's still alive, alongside King Cold, and they're chilling in space going towards Earth. Goku informs Cabba that this is impossible, but without wasting another second, Cabba teleports to the wasteland where Frieza currently is. Now, although Cabba is quite strong, he's not enough in base, but he has learned a few tricks from Goku while he was on planet Yardra. This is when Trunks also arrives, but he doesn't really do much because he just watches Cabba in Super Saiyan absolutely decimate Frieza. Cabba is able to defeat Frieza easily and kills him in a similar fashion like Trunks, but he doesn't slice him up in pieces, he just blasts him to hell. Afterwards, he looks at King Cold, and after seeing him beg, he scoffs, killing him too. Vegeta, though, is extremely shocked to spot Cabba out of all people, saying, "Wow, he's alive, and he's a Super Saiyan? Damn it, always one step ahead, Cabba." Vegeta smirks, but inside, he's extremely pissed. Afterwards, Trunks gives Goku the heart virus and explains the android threat, with Piccolo hearing this as well. So now the group get prepared, and in the 3-year gap, a lot of stuff happens. Vegeta is more pissed than he is in the original series, because he's clearly not going to be the second Super Saiyan. But Cabba hangs around him a lot more, making him pissed, but less. Even though he doesn't want Cabba's help, he still gets it and realizes this is the fastest way to access Super Saiyan, and he actually ends up getting it. Much faster than he did in the original series, and without going into space. Trunks is also born, and Cabba, alongside Vegeta and Goku, are all Super Saiyan. Cabba also might settle down, but maybe that's for another part. With 3 Super Saiyan, the android threat is looking not so threatening. But how about adding another Super Saiyan? Gohan. Now, this might be a stretch, but with the help of 2 Saiyans who have Super at the start of their name, that have actually learned to control it, and with Vegeta, who might not help as much, but he still has 2. He would probably be able to learn it. And Cabba would actually help more since he was able to access it with training instead of Goku who got it with a burst of rage from the beginning. So, with Gohan accessing Super Saiyan, how are they going to face up against the androids with all 4 of them having Super at the start of their name? Well, let's find out in the next part. And that's where we'll leave off for today. So what did you think about this part? What do you think will happen in the next one? Did you like how Cabba was put into the story? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to also hit that like and subscribe button. 15 likes and I'll continue with the next part. Also, hit the bell to be notified when I upload and to be part of the Super Saiyan 4 because who doesn't want to be? But for now, I'll see you in the next one.